Thank you to the EA Creator Network for giving me early access to this pack. In order for me to participate in this early access, I had to accept payment for a deliverable, but my opinion, as it always has been, is my own. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Shella, and I was given early access to The Sims 4 Lovestruck. I was really excited to try out the pack after seeing their trailer, and now I have finally had a chance to do so. I'm writing this review after roughly a week of gameplay, so I've gotten to look in depth at what the pack has to offer, and I've had a lot of time to think about it. Also, I've been writing this review over the course of a couple days, going back and changing things and trying to make it as concise and perfect as possible, because as someone with ADHD, if I didn't have a script, it would just be rambling and there would be a disaster and no one would know what was happening. In fact, I'm rambling right now, so let's stop and let's go ahead and start this review. Lovestruck is a new expansion pack for The Sims 4 that highlights the ups and downs of romance and relationships. In this review, I'll be going over my personal opinions and experience playing with this pack during an early access period. Is this pack truly worthy of being an expansion pack, or should it have been a game pack? Let's get to the bottom of this debate. Feel free to leave any comments, questions, or opinions in the comments. I can't wait to read what you all write. Starting off, let's go over the new world. Lovestruck introduces the romantic world of Ciudad Enamorada. This world features three neighborhoods: Nuevo Corazon, a city with a vibrant nightlife; Vista Hermosa, a suburban neighborhood with a wide array of romantic experiences; and Plaza Mariposa, the scenic central square of Ciudad Enamorada. There are 13 lots spread throughout these neighborhoods for you to interact with. There's a gym, a nightclub, and a lounge, and a park among the communal lots alongside a single vacation rental as well. There's also a motel in Vista Hermosa called Beso Rapido. I was excited at the prospect of getting hotels and motels as a lot type, but that doesn't seem to be the case, as you can go to this motel to rent rooms and spend the night there with your new flame, but it takes you to a rabbit hole. A lovely assortment of statues and art can be found scattered throughout the world that your sim can view in passing. A fountain stands in the center of Plaza Mariposa that has quite a few fun interactions for your sim to explore. Scattered throughout the world are places to find axolotls, which are a new creature for your sims to collect. They're the cutest babies and I love them so much. 9 out of the 13 lots were built by Frito Sorio, Cheeky UV, and Rustic Sims. I'm really glad EA is continuing to allow creators to build official lots for the Sims packs, because they're so talented and it really helps with the immersion. And no missing toilets. Overall, this is a very vibrant Mexican-inspired world, and I had a lot of fun looking around and seeing what it had to offer and exploring the streets. Let's go ahead and hop into cast and see what Lovestruck has to offer. There are 35 tops across mask and femme frames, 20 bottoms, 22 full body, 5 shoes, 16 hairs, 6 accessories, with 1 unlockable ring through gameplay, 4 tattoos, 3 earrings, 2 glasses, 3 necklaces, 1 eyeshadow, 1 lipstick, a new highlighter, and you might have noticed there's a new category here for eyelashes. Lovestruck comes with 2 eyelashes. How exciting! Let's start with the elephant in the room. The lashes are exciting, new, and have been long desired to be added to The Sims 4 by me and many others. But I am extremely disappointed and underwhelmed. They look clunky, sad, and more like 3D eyeliner than eyelashes. They're also lighter than the black eyeliners and don't blend well. The eyelashes also work way better on some eye types versus others, which is not ideal. I'm excited at the prospect of CC creators being able to use this new eyelash slot when creating their lashes so that my sims will be free to wear rings again. I'm also excited that console players will have the options for their sims to wear lashes now. I just wish they looked 100 times better than what is in the game right now. Moving along to the clothes that came with Lovestruck. From a quality perspective, I would say the majority of the items are very well made. I haven't run into any glitching personally, which has happened in previous packs. I like a lot of the tops and see myself using them a lot in the future. There are a few tops that seem out of place, but I guess that's probably just my opinion and perspective on what I enjoy personally. Either way, I don't think having a wide range is a bad thing. People like to feel comfortable in different things, and it's kind of hard to categorize like love and romance as opposed to types of clothes that came in a pack like Horse Ranch that were more thematic. I love the amount of costumes that come in Lovestruck. Most of them are downright hilarious, leaning into the nostalgia that you get from The Sims 2 and The Sims 3 in the best way possible. They also have some hilarious interactions in games that I will be going over later. I love the range of shoes as well. However, it seems as though one of them is just a duplicate of a previous set of heels. Maybe it's an early access bug. The sneakers especially are so stinking cute and I need a pair IRL ASAP. Where can I buy buy them. The bottoms are a solid mix of low-rise and high-waisted options. My main critique for this category is that the pants with a bow are painted on instead of modeled, which is a bummer. When it comes to hairs, I'm obsessed with so many of them. I can definitely see myself using them in future gameplay. From the cute butterfly clip to the edges, all of these hairs are great quality. The only critique I have is the one I always have, which is that there are far more femme-leaning hairs than mask-leaning hairs. I also really like the new nails and accessories in general, but I personally would have loved to see a few more flirty makeup options, like a new blush or maybe multiple lipstick options, but maybe that's just me. Moving on to my personal favorite category, build by. As a builder, I always look forward to new items that I can experiment and build with. So going through the catalog is like Christmas morning for me. Let's dive in. There are 125 new items in the buy section of build by. They range from some new beds, including the iconic vibrating heart bed. Yes, it vibrates and can actually break down to where your Sims will have to repair it. Your Sims' voices will also change when on the vibrating bed. There's a handful of new chairs that are super cute, and I'm actually obsessed with them. They even added a shell chair. I have one in my office right here. I'm pretty pleased with the quality of all of the assets. The textures are high resolution and the models look amazing. The categories lacking from the pack are kitchen items and appliances and bathroom stuff, unless you count the toiletries clutter. I'm in love with how many plants there are in the pack and cute little trinkets. There's a new gameplay item called the Who's Up Party game, and it's a fun card game where your Sims can get to know more about others. There is a family-friendly version and a naughty version. It's a great activity for date night. There's also a new closet item called the Garcia Amor costume trunk that allows your Sims to have fun in costumes. I'll expand upon this more in the gameplay focused segment of the video. I would say overall, I'm meh about the buy from Lovestruck and can see myself using some of the items over and over again, but I don't foresee myself frequently playing with most of the items. The build catalog includes 13 wallpapers, 6 floors, 1 spandrel, 2 columns, 11 windows, 10 doors, 4 wall sculptures, 1 fence and railing, 1 stair, 2 pool trims, 1 fountain, 1 tree, 1 roof tile, and roof trim. I like a few of the wallpapers and can see myself using them frequently in future builds. A couple of them are super out there and heavily themed animal prints and textures, which I don't mind either because it's fun to have options. I just don't think I'll be using them in a standard build. They are the type of swatches that like immediately cause you to picture the sim that would be living there. Same with the floors. I like the tiles, but the animal prints and vines are definitely going to be saved for a special sim. I will honestly say I'm not a huge fan of the windows and doors that came with the Lovestruck pack. As a builder myself, that is usually a huge selling point for me. The windows especially were underwhelming. They all sort of feel the same, just slightly different in the way the glass panes are laid out, but there's not a lot of variety. The new doors and windows are all short wall height with no taller or larger varieties, which is a major bummer. This pack is super clutter heavy, and I don't actually mind it because I love clutter. The plants especially are really cute and reasonably sized. And don't skip over the wall plants. They're truly adorable. I also want to give a shout out to whoever added the artsy urban number sign. This is an asset I was actually hoping to see in For Rent since it makes perfect sense for apartments. The swatches are all very stylized, so I'm hoping to see more variations of the number signs added to the game in the future. Maybe an SDX drop. The only downside to this would be if Lovestruck is your first pack purchase, you'd be missing out on appliances that come often with expansion packs due to it being a heavy clutter pack. Let's hop into gameplay. I spent roughly 3 to 4 hours playing through Lovestruck for the first time. The only major content from the pack I was unable to explore fully was the new romance consultant career. We haven't had a full career introduced since Dream Home Decorator came out. I'm personally pumped to get the opportunity to play through it fully when I have more time. I plan to play through it live on Twitch this weekend actually, so feel free to stop by if you'd like to see it in action. I was able to play through both of the new aspirations. Romantic Explorer was a lot of fun and felt as fleshed out as the average Sims 4 aspiration. It has 3 levels of milestones for the player to complete. I was disappointed that Paragon Partner only had 1 tier to the aspiration to complete. I completed it within a few sim days and was majorly underwhelmed. Both of the aspirations will give your Sims a new trait upon completion. Completing Romantic Explorer will reward the Sims with a seasoned romantic trait. Your Sim will find the romantic relationships with other Sims will grow faster. They will also get over embarrassment faster. Completing the Paragon Partner aspiration will give your Sims the affection aficionado trait. This means your Sims will lose romantic satisfaction slower than in relationships with other Sims. If I were someone who loved to collect traits by completing aspirations, I would certainly start with the Paragon Partner aspiration first and then move on to the next. Let's talk about the hot new app everyone's using, Cupid's Corner. Your Sim can access this from their phone and create a profile right away. Your Sim is able to describe themselves by selecting 2 of their traits. I really like this because as your Sim changes, you can change which traits you would like to be displayed on Cupid's Corner. You can also limit your Sim's dating pool by selecting what age group they are interested in, from young adults to elders. Your Sim's sexual orientation is also displayed on their bio page. Taking the perfect profile picture might seem easy, but it's based on your Sim's photography skills, so you might need to take a few before you find one that works. After After setting up your Sim's bio, you can move over to the Matches tab and swipe right to see the potential suitors. If you find a Sim that you are particularly interested in, you can click on the little heart button to add them to your saved tab. You'll find that your Sim's turn-ons and turn-offs will be displayed based on the traits of the matches your Sims come across. Once you have saved a few potential flames, you can move to the Save tab and are presented with the option to add the Sim to your contacts or just hop into creating a date right away. You can also delete them from your Save tab in case there was an embarrassing misclick, so no worries. Your Sim is able to refresh their matches every 24 hours. I honestly wish it was a little bit more frequent because I'm a picky person. I didn't get to test the feature where you are able to have Sims from the gallery appear in your Matches tab because this is an early build of the game that I'm playing with and it does not have the gallery. I'm looking forward to testing this on my stream. I would love to be able to add Sims that y'all make into the dating pool for my Sims through this feature. I already asked y'all to make potential partners for my Let's Plays, so this would simplify it and make it more fun and random. When it comes to planning a date, you have the options of who to bring, what activities you would like to do, and what venue you'd like to visit. This menu reminds me of my wedding stories, so I will admit I had some flashbacks and got a little bit scared, but so far I have not run into any bugs surrounding the dates. The only thing that happened to me that I found a little strange was when I had my Sim going on a date with her partner, and her roommate just came along as if it was her date too. It ended up being a little glitchy. You can see this happen in my gameplay video I posted yesterday. It was an easy fix though, and I just moved on. Dates are still gold events, so you can strive for a gold medal date, which will reward you with fun items and lots of positive relationship status between your Sims. I like that the goals are based on the activities that you select when planning the date. I had a date around going to the gym and swimming, which was a lot of fun because not all dates are based around a fancy dinner. It really makes for a versatile and replayable gameplay because of how customizable it is. I love that you can ask Sims to extend the date and move venues. Sims can also initiate these requests as well. I had a Sim ask to move the date back to my place in my gameplay video. It was definitely unexpected. You also have the option to end the date early without pissing off the other Sim. I always had the issue of saying yes to a date because I didn't want the Sim asking my Sim to be upset, but then it turned into like an entire all-day commitment that I did not want to sign up for. So I'm glad that there's the option to add a date in a friendly way. You can also end it in bad terms if you're not vibing with a date, or maybe they do something to deserve your wrath. There are a ton of new romantic interactions for your Sims to explore. I, for one, was really excited to see new options to spice up my Sims' love lives. As you continue to level up the new romance skill, more of these options will become available to your Sim. I feel like most of the options from the interaction wheel are pretty self-explanatory until I came across Goose. I had no clue what this was, and I don't know what that says about me as a person or not knowing, but my jaw literally hit the floor. I had my Sim do it for the first time and it nearly brought me to tears. I cannot believe this interaction is in the game. It turns out it has been in previous iterations of The Sims, and I kind of love that the Sims team is tugging at the nostalgia with Lovestruck. Sims can now ask to initiate romantic relationships autonomously, which means you don't always have to be the one to take the first step. If a Sim is feeling your Sim, they can ask you out. I love this. Thank you, Sims team. It always felt kind of bad having to be the one to initiate every step of the relationship. One of my new favorite interactions is the cuddle in bed and cuddle to sleep interaction. It's so wholesome and cute and something that was possible in previous Sims games, so I'm glad it's been added to The Sims 4. Another super cute romantic interaction you can do with your Sims is sky/stargazing. Your Sims can do this from a bench or on one of the new romantic blankets that come with Lovestruck. It was also cute to see other couples around me autonomously doing this, like the goths and the pancakes. How adorable is that? I love seeing them act like couples in public places. Now, I don't want to spoil every single new romantic interaction that comes with Lovestruck, but I will say I'm overall satisfied and happy to see the new options. I hope the Sims team continues on the trajectory of adding new interactions for our Sims to explore through gameplay in future packs. There's a new panel on the interaction wheel called the Relationships panel. Clicking here will give you a variety of options that will change based on how your relationship with the Sim is going. Being in a romantic relationship will add more buttons to this category. From here, you can view their relationship, which is a shortcut to the profile panel. You can also ask to have a science baby. There's also a new button that allows you to create custom relationship labels. This allows for so much more than romantic relationships. I plan to use this for extended families such as like cousins, sister-in-law, best friends, and maybe even labeling a few Sims Don Lothario as a walking red flag. You can ask romantic questions, ask a Sim about their romantic boundaries, and also ask a Sim to change their relationship boundaries if you are interested in pursuing a different kind of relationship dynamic with the selected Sim. I have mixed feelings about this because I don't think that you should change for someone else, but I know that it's healthy to have open communication in a relationship if you are in a closed relationship and are looking to maybe open it or vice versa. The Garcia Amor costume trunk is a new gameplay item that was added with Lovestruck. We don't have another item like it in any other pack, so I would consider this a pack exclusive. I mentioned earlier that this trunk has an aura of nostalgia and a dose of silly goofiness that just makes me happy. I had a great time exploring all the costume options from cute to cursed. Shout out to the catfish costume, my new favorite. There's an option to call Sims over to wear costumes, and I had no idea that every Sim who was present on the lot would come over and all change into costumes. It honestly jump scared me the first time I did it, but now I just feel really powerful. There are also a lot of innuendo-filled woohoo interactions that are absolutely unhinged based on what costume your Sims are wearing. I had a lot of fun exploring it, and I'm sure you will too. Another new gameplay item is the Who's Up party game. This game is so cute and fun to do on first dates because as your Sims are playing it, they will learn things about the other Sims playing as well. It's a cute little card game where your Sim will try to guess which emotion is on the card above their head. It's an adorable little interaction and I absolutely love it. I hope the Sims team continues to add fun games with new animations like this. One final thing I wanted to mention about the gameplay is that there is a cute little quest line that you can follow as you explore the world of Lovestruck. You might see a super sad blue bear wandering around town, and all I'll say is it might benefit you to speak to them. Maybe you'll uncover a mystery. When it comes to cross-pack gameplay, the only integration I have come across so far is the date planning menu. You're able to select activities such as ice skating, playing in the snow, and with animals. When you hover over these activities, they tell you which packs are required to play with them. Obviously, with the early access, I haven't been able to explore or test anything further since I only have the base game and Lovestruck installed, but I'm looking forward to doing so. Let's talk about bugs. I'll give you the tea. So far, I have run into minimal bugs while playing for the past week or so. One bug I encountered was really scary, glitchy looking selfies when I was trying to change my Cupid's Corner profile pic. And I'm not talking about what happens when your Sim is just bad at photography. It was honestly kind of funny, so I didn't mind it. Another bug I ran across was when I had my Sim go on a blind date. It didn't go well, so I ended it early and left. Afterwards, when the Sim showed up in my relationship panel, they had no hair and a different face. Kind of horrifying. I've also run into a bug using the Cupid's Corner app. After saving a Sim that had traits that my Sim found attractive, I returned to the app a few days later and noticed that they were no longer highlighted as an attractive trait. I'm not sure if this is just a visual glitch or if it actually impacts the gameplay. Either way, I plan to submit this bug in hopes of them fixing it. I believe there are a few items that come with Lovestruck that are not tagged properly and can only be found in debug at the moment, so I'm hoping this is a bug they resolve for release. They include some bed canopies and the new elevators. There's also a build with a door missing to the office, which is an easy fix. Other than that, I've not personally run into any game-breaking bugs, but this is also not the final software, so I wouldn't be fully surprised if a few pop up on release. Let's talk about base game updates. Finally, there are some major and exciting base game updates coming to The Sims 4. I gotta be honest with you all. I'm just as excited for these base game updates as I am for Lovestruck. The Sims team slayed this update. Here are the patch notes. There's a reorganization of the interaction menu, including a new category called Relationship. This allows players to locate specific relationship interactions without sifting through additional romance interactions. I expanded upon that in my section about gameplay, but this panel actually does come to base game as well. There's a new romantic boundary system in cast that allows you to customize Sims jealousy triggers in romantic relationships. Players can set Sims preferences for physical romantic interactions, non-physical romantic interactions, and woohoo. Players can also set if Sims are willing to reassess these boundaries. It is now possible to remove Sims from the relationship panel. Bad date? An acquaintance your Sim has no interest in? Get them out of here. The relationship won't change, you'll just have fewer Sims to manage in the relationship panel. Thank God, because sometimes the most random Sims end up in my relationship panel and I'm like, I literally have no idea who you are. Core date event improvements such as Sims interrupting an active date will happen less often. And I did feel as though when I was playing through the pack, I didn't have my date interrupted as often as it used to be. It happened only once or twice. The terminology for some relationships are more neutral and inclusive. The husband and wife label is now spouse. The fiance and fiance label is now engaged. The girlfriend and boyfriend is now partner. There are two new options in Configure Neighborhood Stories to allow households to start and end relationships on their own. Curved pools are being added to the base game. The cast updates include the eyelashes, which I went over earlier. They are adding 2 new eyelashes to the base game as well. 2 base game hairstyles with updated styling, a short wavy hairstyle and a small ponytail hairstyle. There's a new hairstyle called block braids. This hairstyle will be released with multiple color options. This is the second update of the collaboration with Dark and Lovely. There's a lot of new nail styles as well. Coffin nails, new nail colors that will include inclusive pride nail colors, matte finishes, French tip with nail beds that match a variety of skin tones, and other new stylish updates. Stream safe music option for us streamers is now in the options menu of The Sims, so we can listen to music without having to worry about copyright strikes. Thank you. And the best for last is the apply to all outfits button. You might have seen it as I was going through cast earlier, but it is here and it is here to stay. I mentioned it earlier earlier. It's one of my longest awaited features for The Sims 4 to add, so I'm very grateful about that. I'm really glad the Sims team is taking the feedback around gendered labels and relationship dynamics seriously. It's very cool that we as players will now be able to explore poly relationships through the new romantic boundaries options. This is a really important step to a more inclusive simming experience for all. I love that they added more options to neighborhood stories as well. I'm about to make all my Sims lives so messy by allowing changes to relationships and friendships. I'm looking forward to the chaos. Curved pools are also a huge base game update, as I was going over the patch notes earlier. I'm looking forward to making cute heart pools and more realistic hot tubs if I can. I also intend to make some circular above ground pools. I feel like those are pretty common, so it's going to be cool to be able to see those in game. The apply to all outfits update is honestly one of the updates I am most excited for. I've been asking for this feature for so long. This is going to be such a useful feature for things like makeup, glasses, and medical items, nails, or anything your sim might be wearing in every single outfit. I know for me, having to apply so many details to every single outfit over and over and over again was exhausting, and sometimes made me dread going into cast and dissuaded me from creating detailed looks for my sims. No longer. I'm looking forward to having this feature, and thank goodness it's base game. To wrap up this review, I'd like to go over a few major points that will hopefully help you make an informed decision about whether you'd like to purchase this pack. Let's talk about the content through the lens of cast, build by, and gameplay. I would say the cast alone scores above average on my personal preference scale when it comes to assets I can see myself utilizing and reusing for my regular simming experience. I can't say the same for build by. There are a few pieces here and there that I really like, which I expanded upon earlier in the video, but I don't think I can justify spending $40 for a shell chair. The gameplay alone is the reason why I would personally purchase Lovestruck on release. When it comes to replayability or how I normally conduct gameplay in my sims, relationships are always one of the most important aspects of my simming. Again, this is a personal opinion in the way that I play, so if you're someone who doesn't prioritize relationships in your everyday gameplay, this pack probably isn't for you. As someone with 3 active legacy challenges, I will be thriving with the new relationship dynamics and dating gameplay. When playing with early access, I found myself thinking about so many of my previous sims that I've played with and how this pack would have really enhanced their lives. One of the major points of contention that comes up when talking about Lovestruck is if this feels more like an expansion pack or if it should have been a game pack. I found myself really struggling to place my feelings about this over the first few days of gameplay in my early access period. I found it really hard to verbalize why I felt so conflicted in the first place. But after a lot of reflection, there are a few points I'd like to bring to light when it comes to deciding whether this pack feels more like an expansion pack or a game pack. I think one of the reasons why it's so hard to see exactly what this pack brings to the table is because a lot of the content that it brings is built on a previously existing system. Lovestruck expands upon a previously instated dating and relationship system, and most of that is done in the background behind the scenes. I think it's easier for us to look at a pack like Horse Ranch and be like, oh yeah, look at how much visible content there is for me to experience as a player. I think Growing Together is a really good comparison for a side-by-side with Lovestruck. They both hold more of a focus on relationships, which is something that's intangible. They also have a similar amount of content when it comes down to a direct comparison. I think Infants made Growing Together stand out just a little bit more. When it comes down to it, Infants were actually a base game update that Growing Together expanded upon. The same applies to the new relationship dynamic base game update, which Lovestruck expands upon. I would say if you really liked Growing Together, then Lovestruck might be for you. Should you buy this pack on release day? I don't think it would hurt to wait for it to go on sale. $40 is really expensive. Unless you're super set on not missing out on that exclusive early access, early pre-order extra content, then I wouldn't see a reason to urgently go out and buy this. You could also try to enter some creator giveaways and get lucky because they do give us codes to give out on releases. I'll personally be doing a Lovestruck giveaway on my channels, so stay tuned for that. I truly hope you are able to make the best decision for you based on all the information I broke down here for you today. If you haven't already, I would also suggest watching multiple reviews. I'm only one person, and other creators who had early access might touch on points that I didn't, or vice versa. I would personally buy this pack on release if I had the funds available, but that is only because I literally thrive on relationship drama. Any of y'all who watch my Let's Plays know that that's true. I also highly value the replayability and how often I am going to be using what this pack features. Bringing back the Horse Ranch comparison, I literally can't remember remember the last time I actively played with horses and intended to like go through what Horse Ranch had to offer. It's not something that I do often. Relationships, on the other hand, are something I play with every single time I do gameplay. That alone is a huge reason on why I would personally purchase this pack. I really hope that this review was helpful. If you are looking to purchase this pack, I'd like to recommend using a creator code. Mine is Coachella. Sounds like Coachella, but it's Coachella. Using a creator code gives the creator 5% of the overall purchase. Make EA pay. Again, I want to make it very, very clear that my opinions are my own, despite needing to accept a small payment in order to participate in this early access period this time around. If there's anything I missed or forgot to mention, feel free to leave a comment down below. I also want to hear your opinions on whether or not you feel like you are going to be purchasing this pack, waiting for it to go on sale, or anything in general based around how you feel about Lovestruck. I would love to hear from you. If you enjoyed this video or any of my other content here, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I've already posted a gameplay video yesterday going over about an hour straight of me playing Lovestruck when I got early access, so if you'd like to see that, it might give you more insight onto what the pack has to offer as well. I plan on posting a couple more videos here on my channel featuring the early access period. I will also be live all weekend streaming from my Twitch channel over at twitch.tv/Risshella. If you'd like to come over, you can see it live and ask questions live, ask to see things live. It's honestly a really great interaction if you're still on the fence about whether or not this pack is for you. I would love to see you. Other than that, I love you all a lot, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, everyone. Thank you for watching my YouTube video. I don't know what I'm singing. This is my outro, but thanks. See you next time. Love you. Bye.